Hey guys, this is Steph, and today I'm going to talk about another thing that we can do to just be bold and get out there when we're speaking in front of people, when we're doing these things that are a little bit scary, and that is how to not look nervous when you're presenting. Whether this is for a large presentation, whether this is for a small meeting, whether you're just presenting in front of a few people, there's a number of things that you can do to come across a lot more confident. So we can all think of a time where we've seen someone that's had to get up in front of a group and speak, and you can just tell that they are beyond nervous. The way that they speak, their body language, they are not fooling anyone. Well, regardless of if you are nervous, you don't want to look that way. You always want to look confident in what you're doing. So there's a few things that we can pinpoint to make sure that whether or not you're sweating it on the inside, you look cool as a cucumber on the outside. So the first dead giveaway is how quickly are you speaking? If you are talking too quickly, that is such a sign of nerves. And everyone knows you are just ready to be done and get the heck out of there. So make sure you slow it down. If you find yourself speaking too quickly, just pause for a second and then come back in and just be very deliberate. Think about what you're saying and put the emphasis behind it, and that will slow you down. So along those lines, the other thing that you can and should be doing when you're speaking is take a moment for pauses. So it's extremely important if it's an interactive type of presentation where you're wanting to get that real-time feedback from the audience. If they don't have a break where they can get in their questions or get in their comments or even get in the fact that they agree with what you're saying, it can be very, very, very frustrating. And that's one of my number one pet peeves. So take a moment, pause. And if it's a presentation where you're up on stage and you're not getting that real-time feedback, the same thing applies. It's a real confident move to be able to just pause for a minute and let what you said sink in to those that are listening. So don't be afraid to do it. When you see really skilled speakers, they're not afraid of that pause and they use it for emphasis. So give yourself time to have that little bit of a pause, that little bit of a break for everything to sort of settle when you're speaking. So the next tip I have is to keep that eye contact game strong. Don't look down. Make sure you are looking at your audience. Keep that eye contact, whether it's a small group where you can see everyone on an individual basis, or whether it's a large venue, make sure you're looking over to every side and making your points. That really helps you project out your message and put that intention behind it. When you don't do that, you tend to sort of fold in on yourself, look down, and you look nervous. So look people in the eye. Don't be afraid to do it. Look out at them and get that eye contact happening. So along those lines, another big area that can make you look so nervous is your body language. Now, the first thing that someone will tend to do when they're nervous is you sort of start to fold in on yourself a little bit. So you try to minimize, take up less space. You don't want to be noticed. And everyone can tell that you're trying not to be noticed, trying not to draw attention to yourself. Now, if you were confident and you weren't nervous, you'd be out there and you would want people to look at you. You're speaking, you've got something to say, you want that attention on you. So take up space. Take up a lot of space. If there's room to move around, don't be afraid to move around, but make sure your body language is such that you do not look like you're trying to minimize yourself, because you don't want to. You want to be there and you want to take up space because you have something to say, so don't be afraid to do it. Last tip I have is to just put energy and emphasis behind everything that you're saying. So most of my presentations that I do, they're positive things, they're fun things. So I get up there and I am pumped up and I am happy and I bring a lot of energy to my presentations. But you might be doing a different type of presentation. It might be more serious. That's okay. You don't have to be all happy-go-lucky all the time, but you can still bring that same intensity, that same emphasis behind it. So just really make sure whatever you're speaking about, whatever the topic is, whether it's a meeting, a project status meeting, whether you're speaking at a conference, no matter what, put that emphasis behind what you're saying and push out your communication to the people that are there to hear what you have to say. So just go for it and hit it hard, and you are going to do amazing. I love it, guys. It's fun. It is really fun. So get out there, take some risks, be bold. If this is something that makes you nervous, that's all the more reason to challenge yourself, to try to do it, to get better at what you're doing. And if you have any other hot takes or hot tips, let me know. I would love to hear them because, as I said, I am always working to improve myself as well. So thanks, guys.